Oh, now she just snorts. It's not even
I know.
like a full-on laugh.
She should have her own app on smartphones.
We should all have
Yep.
our own app on smartphones.
No, I
Then
really
we
think
can
she should.
all
I
be
mean,
like Angry Joe and
she's the
James
one with the
Rolfe,
faggot
and that's
babies.
faggots in the glasses.
It's easier if women say it, especially if gay women say it. Then it's like,
It's
like,
acceptable for me to say faggot, yeah.
no, it just sounds like you mean it more.
Oh, okay.
And like, you're such a lesbian, you hate men that don't even affect you. You got that's being thorough, at the very least.
Anyway, don't we have a podcast to get started?
I know something like that.
A
All right,
food chat.
we have drink. Okay. All right, here we go.
And now, from the bowels of the internet, it's the Hate Bit Podcast.
Hate train rolling again. Greetings, Hater Nation. I am the mighty El Chaos, and welcome to the Hate Bit Podcast. Joining me as always, the Sombrero Kid, Alpha Omega Sin.
Olay.
The lovely MangaMinx.
I got fired from my job this week because my colleagues found out I don't really have Tourette's.
Oh, shame. And
We were
now,
hoping you did.
gang, no kidding, gang, you're probably going to wonder, where have we been? We've been gone for a while. There's been a lot of gap in between the last episode and this episode of the podcast. And we have to tell you the
Manga
reason.
bastard.
Well, there's a reason for it. And that's because the Sainted Magnus passed away a little while back, but he's here with us anyway. The seductive Sainted Magnus, how are you, sir?
I'm alive, thank you very much.
That's a
Feel like
lie. I
last
heard
night
otherwise.
now though, because it was snowing outside before.
Well, that's what I had heard.
Yeah, I live in
Any-
Alaska.
Well, anyway, we're glad everybody's here. Got a great big show. First of all, we want to say fuck everyone.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Now it's time to get down to business. We're going to say fuck EA because EA has been fucking shit up. By the way, we're wasting no time at all, diving right into some content here. EA has been fucking it up for a long time, and you guys know that. And I think one of the key signifiers was the SimCity launch, the recent SimCity launch, which has been met with a barrage of, shall we say, hatred. And Alpha Omega Sin, did you play SimCity, or are you just laughing at it from the side like me?
Oh, I'm far off the sidelines, like on a different continent. I'm just kind of looking over, like, oh, that's pretty fucking stupid. And then it's an EA product, so they'll never see any of my money because it gets spent elsewhere, like on things like Tomb Raider, because I'd rather do that.
And this is now someone explain this to me because I haven't played SimCity since like SimCity 3000, I think, for like Windows 98 or something. I mean, I'm going way back there. And so what's the story with the new SimCity? And also, Alpha Megazine, you have to remember to tell your story about how you should never, ever name games after the original game. And I think that's an example
I
of
think
why.
Hollywood was supposed to take note of that a whole bunch, but they keep on ignoring those memos and just using them to light their cigars and whatnot. It's quite annoying. But yeah, if you have a franchise, a storied franchise, no less, that everybody's well versed in, you don't do things like, I don't know, you have Devil May Cry, then you have DMC Devil May Cry, which makes 10 times less sense, and you don't go and decide that you're gonna have like the Rambo movies, and then all of a sudden it's just Rambo, and then Rocky, then just it's very confusing, and it just fucks with people and confuses them. And now we have SimCity, and then the other SimCity. So what's the difference between SimCity and SimCity? Like, you can't put more
DRM.
emphasis on one of the words and make it different. It's just the same.
No, it could be like SimCity versus SimCity.
Oh, we could call it SimShitty, since everybody's been pretty upset with it right now.
Yeah,
And you
SimShitty.
don't need to be clever to call City shitty, but regardless, everybody's pretty fucking upset over it, and rightfully so.
Yeah, you could also have shitty rice and shitty chicken. It'd be a good thing.
Absolutely. And I live here in the shitty city, the steel shitty city. Yeah.
See?
I think you've hit on a new franchise for EA, personally. Just put shit on the end of everything, and it'll be true, and it'll be a new franchise. So yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that's actually like one of the things EA is pretty much really good at is basically tacking on shit to everything. Especially in the past like month, they've pretty much like fucked up. They fucked up like so much. It's baffling because I mean this is a company that's known for being dickheads, for fucking over their employees, fucking over their fans, and fucking over all the franchises that they've pretty much built an entire empire out of, and how they're standing on top of this entire mountain, basically pissing on everybody below that's keeping it afloat.
And with this launch, they took down their pants and fucked over their entire audience. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically ruining the Max's name, which is unfortunate.
Well, shouldn't we explain somewhere, how they actually came to this fucking car crash of a fucking release?
Would you like to explain how the whole SimCity car crash occurred?
They didn't. They made everything online, didn't they? Single player game, yeah, online.
Oh, DRM all the way.
DRM all the way. DRM up the arse. You want to play your game on your own? You have to be online. You don't have an internet connection? Tough shit. Get one.
Well, the issue isn't even the DRM. The issue is that DRM doesn't fucking work.
Exactly.
Because no one can fucking play the fucking thing. Because none of the servers that are required to fucking play the game actually work at all. And I don't know how anyone could have just like missed this oversight. Like, so we're going to release a game, requires online DRM, always on. That's their plan to stop piracy or whatever. Or just fuck people over because I think it's funny. And they just don't have servers that work, which is kind of crucial to anything fucking work.
I tell you what, that's one way to stop piracy in its tracks.
Don't make
the game doesn't work at all, and then they don't want to play it.
Everyone pays us, and it doesn't work, and no one steals it.
I'm not pirating that. It doesn't even play.
That's a good idea, I think.
I mean,
that's unbelievable.
Who thinks these things through? Like, who at EA is like there must be someone who just sits like on the board, like, and I'm masturbating with $100 bill, like, whoa, how can we fuck people off today? And take Dead Space 3 as well, for example. That they put in microtransactions for a full price game and stuff. And even when it was like before it was coming out, they were like, how do we make this more mainstream? It's a horror franchise. What don't most people like? I don't know, horror. Let's take out the horror. And then we'll be fine. And more people. It's like if Assassin's Creed was a fucking EA franchise, it would just be called Creed, and that would be it.
And then all of a sudden, it starts having like Christian rock melodies, just fucking all over the place. Just in the middle of battle, it's like talking about and Jesus loves me, and then like floating about in the air in the Christ pose.
If things get much worse, EA is gonna make. Which one does EA do? Battlefield?
Yes.
Yeah.
I say before long, Battlefield is just going to be a bunch of soldiers standing in a field checking their smartphones.
You want to know what? I just want to throw this out there for everybody listening. If you ever get bored and you want to hear something that's like semi-amusing, especially if you're like stoned or drunk or something, look up on YouTube. It's called Creed Shreds. Creed is one of the worst fucking incarnations in fucking music history, but Creed Shreds is fucking hilarious, and it's pretty funny. And it's like, oh yeah, it sounds something like that, and just twanging and banging.
Entire album of Creed there.
And if you ever want,
basically, it's here's a joke: Creed's greatest hits. Haha, didn't. Anyway, continue.
Oh God.
That's why they got their hit song "With Legs Wide Open."
I was gonna say my mum's wide open. Oh damn it.
But okay, so besides the fact that Creed sucks really bad, basically we have a SimCity game that lots of people are looking forward to. The shit is online all the time, but it doesn't fucking function. And naturally, Electronic Arts has like a briefcase filled with excuses that they're willing to just pour out to try to get everybody to calm the fuck down. But look at it like this. If you bought the game, you're not able to play the game, and you're upset about that, instead of getting a full refund, you will get a free game, which will be filled with DLC and microtransactions, and you'll just hate it.
And DRM. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and it'll probably have DRM too. So you'll just put up with more server issues from another one of their free games, which you wouldn't want anyway, because a lobotomy is, it's kind of something that'd be preferable.
And you forgot the punchline. You forgot the huge, big punchline there, right?
What?
It got that bad that Amazon, you buy all your books and your games and your DVDs from Amazon, they took it down, both the digital and the physical version, off their website because of this entire debacle.
You know
Wow.
why? Because Amazon's smart. They're like, you know what? Everybody hates this, and now they're yelling at us. We didn't fuck this up. Later, you deal with this shit, EA.
See ya.
And honestly, and that is a better way to go about it. It's just like, look, many people listening right now have had the same exact issue. Many of us have fucking aired our grievances with DRM and always online and stuff. And this isn't one of those things of, oh, you just don't want things to move forward. Look, moving forward's one thing, but when there's a bunch of roadblocks and pitfalls in the way, and this isn't an easy transition, one that's essentially fucking everybody over, especially one that's, I want to play a one-player game. Why do I need to be online?
It's all about sharing.
Like that makes no fucking sense. I had that issue with Diablo 3. I didn't understand because I love Diablo 1. I especially love Diablo 2, which is still one of my top 10 PC games of all time. But Diablo 3 always online all the time, and I tried jumping into the beta, and that shit wouldn't work. For 3 fucking days, I couldn't get into the beta, and it's on my internet connection. It works just fucking fine. But that was just, like the very beginning. And then seeing stuff like this, it's like, come the fuck on, guys. Get your shit together.
I mean, this is even worse, though, than Diablo 3. I mean, Diablo 3 was a massive fuck up. I mean, I guess it was like all a cunning plan, so people didn't realize how shit the game was when they actually played it. And then
At least
stopped
it's
playing
working
anyway.
now, though.
But you know what I mean? Like, the SimCity stuff has been going on for fucking days now. Like, and people are still having issues. Like, I see issues reported on Twitter, and they've disabled some features of the game in order to try and help the server load. Some key features of the game have been disabled to help. So the game isn't the game you fucking paid for, and you might have bought it thinking, wow, that's a really cool feature. No, it's not in the game anymore because they can't cope with it. And it blows my fucking mind how this can be fucked up so much.
Well, and the whole thing was it's like kind of like trying to like sweep your mess under the rug, but the problem is they've like shot an elephant in the neck, and that's a little tough to hide underneath a sofa.
Look, okay, if we're gonna use the term sweeping a mess under a carpet, what they're doing is trying to fucking bury a landfill under a paper towel.
Guys, I have to say this.
That's
This right here is like an astronomical mess, and this isn't a small title. This isn't something that people are just gonna ignore. The SimCity franchise has been around for how many fucking years now? The early 90s?
Very, very early
know,
90s.
a long time.
Yeah, you can't fuck up something like this and this big, and then get people hyped for it. And as soon as they get their hands on it, people will plunk down their hard-earned money, and then are like, what the fuck is this? And all it does is has them look at the brand as garbage, and from that point forward, that's what's ingrained in their brain as like, what SimCity is it's shit. I'll just go back to the old ones, is what people will say.
It's ridiculous. Like, for example, I was going to say there's an article here on GameSpot that says SimCity launches in the UK without major connectivity woes, and then update straight away underneath. All European servers run into problems during peak evening period.
No
that's
problems.
just
5
typical
minutes
for
later,
the
we got
UK.
problems.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
that's just typical
yeah,
for
yeah,
the UK.
yeah. See, we have this problem. There's this thing called Netflix, and apparently people watch it at nighttime, and that requires the internet. And yeah, what do you want to do about that?
A
Don't
lot of
fuck up
people were
again.
watching stuff on Netflix. I wasn't aware. We provide an online service, and lots of people are using it. I didn't think that happened. It's broke now. What do we do? I don't know. I'm getting ahead right now, so I'm good.
I don't know. Here, hey, go bring me that paper towel.
Yeah, we need to bury this quick.
We need to make this go away. And you know how we need to do it? How do you want to do it? Okay, cut it off. Just, it's like cutting off the setting off the tourniquet at the neck. This is not working. And but this is not a new thing though. I mean, because if you think about it, way back when this was set into motion a long time ago, if you go all the way back to now, I'm going to make a bold statement, and a lot of people are going to disagree, but I'm going to say that sports games on video games were fun until EA got involved. Imagine that. EA managed to wreck sports games. And I don't think anybody can really disagree with me on that. John Madden, in conjunction with EA Sports, managed to destroy sports video games forever.
You want to know what I think? All Madden game discs as soon as like they get past like the 6-month mark, they become AOL discs. That's all that they are to me. Nobody wants them. You see them everywhere, and you can't even give them away because nobody wants to have anything to do with them. So
It's like controllers.
I think that's you know what I think that's what I'm gonna start collecting is Madden discs and then AOL discs. I can't even find a fucking AOL disc to be honest, but I can find Madden discs. That's kind of fucked up.
You know what I'll bet you? Like, there's like, I understand there's programs on television that's about hoarders, and apparently some of them are real, some of them are fake. You gotta know, there's gotta be one house in some asshole, like in Hackensack, New Jersey, who's just got a house full of AOL discs.
Like that's what he built an outside garden out of. He's like, yeah.
Like, Bill, what were you doing? Well, they were free at the grocery store.
I just took all of them. I didn't even care.
Yeah, and then you see the guys who got just Madden discs all over the house. What were you doing? They were just everywhere at the flea market. I mean, just everywhere. There were hundreds of them. I wanted Legend of Dragoon, but there were just thousands of these with this white man on them.
This large, fat, white guy with a headset. He just kept pointing at me, and he was like, "You pick me up, take me home." And I was like, "Okay, peer pressure."
Okay, you look good in a blazer.
You look good in that white long sleeve shirt that's rolled up, and you got the collar pop. That's all right. Let's go, John Madden. Let's make this shit happen.
I looked at this game and I said to myself, I need Tenactin. I need tough actin Tenactin right now.
Well, let's put it this way. I was game shopping earlier this week, and I bought an Xbox One game, and it cost me 99p. I thought, right, I'm going to need a replacement case for this because the case is fucked. I had a look through all the bloody FIFA sports games, and I don't know who's doing the fucking pricing for these things, but they put a price of £1.29 on the fucking thing. Who's going to really pay that for a 4-year-old bloody football game? Really?
An idiot.
An idiot, yeah.
That's about all that it boils down to. Anytime that I see like on Craigslist, people be like, "Oh my god, massive PS2 lot," and it's like, click, let's see what they got. Nothing but sports games. They're like, "Yeah, give me $250." I got Madden 2002, 2003, 2004. So I'm pretty sure that you want this massive lot.
Yeah, don't forget. Wait, I got the first Madden on Super Nintendo. It's rare.
Yeah, that shit's rare. It's vintage because it's on an old console. It's retro or some shit. Retro.
PGA said so. I sent it away and it came back. Yeah.
Oh.
They told me it's in the game, so I was like, word.
But I mean, yeah, just have a history of just fucking things up and fucking people
God,
over.
yeah.
I mean, one thing I don't get is the fact that they are having like a string of disasters at the moment. They had the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO that just totally bombed.
Yeah.
It just went to shit. It just failed so epically. It was ridiculous.
And what are they doing with Need for Speed?
Nothing. It's stagnant.
Like, the last time I checked, they were trying to, what was it, Need for Speed The Run? They were trying to make it into like an action movie filled with quick time events. It's like, back in my day, Need for Speed was about driving fast.
Just need Vin Diesel in it. Make a new Fast.
That was some shit.
Attacking the Fast and the Furious, you know?
Yeah.
It can be like that.
I feel dirty even hearing that now.
But they do. They fucked over Westwood, the Command and Conquer studio. You know, they got them closed. They fucked over Origin, who made the Ultima games. They fucked over so many people, and so many companies, and they're gonna fuck up. I'm sure BioWare, if the next Mass Effect doesn't sell well, they'll be gone. That'll be it. You know what I mean? They just buy companies, gain the franchises, write the company off, and this is pretty much all they do. And
well. Yeah, and you gotta wonder, it's like, you guys are in the business of making video games. You need people to make those, right?
Exactly. Well, just buy another company, it's fine. But they do keep fucking up constantly. Like, their last few games haven't done well. Like, apparently Dead Space 3 hasn't sold as well as it should have done. And, it's just problem after problem. Aren't they realizing something's fucking wrong? Like, isn't some fucking idiot at their fucking offices like, hey, guys, something might be up. And they're like, oh, they're just, like, masturbating with these dollar bills still. And it's like, fuck off, we're not interested, we don't want to talk to you, we just want to sit here, jerk off with this money, and all our problems will go away, and we'll just buy another company if something goes wrong, it doesn't matter. And it's just constant, it's just a cycle, and no one fucking seems to realise it at EA. They're just fucking playing Simpsons Tapped Out all the time, and that's it. So.
Well, how do you really feel about the situation?
Yeah, don't just butter us up. I mean, really, tell us.
No, absolutely. And it's a strange thing because if you look at really, and this is one thing that really strikes me as amazing with EA. You can say what you want about what they've done with gaming or where they've come from or where they are now, but just this awe-inspiring hubris of this company. Anytime any higher up at what's his name? Who's the balding prick that's always David? Does anybody remember what I'm talking about? The one prick. Anyway, that one faggot that's always in favor of EA. That guy. He,
The one fucking thingy guy. Thingy.
yeah. By the way, for those of you that come here for journalistic integrity, you can go and fuck yourself because you're around for the wrong reasons. But anyway, you hear anybody from EA just seem to spatter on about how they're going to take over the industry tomorrow. Those things are good at EA. Meanwhile, these guys could fuck up a cup of coffee and have.
They have.
Frequently. They're just like, yeah, I think I was gonna get you that cup of coffee, but I'm thinking you wanted how many lumps of sugar? Yeah, that'll be extra. Microtransaction, bitch. Oh.
Yeah, you gotta pay by granule, motherfucker.
Oh wait, you wanted something other than a styrofoam cup? Oh man, that's DLC. Or do you want to just pre-order that cup right now and get the big gulp size? Yeah, that's right.
Pre-order that cup. Pre-order that goddamn cup.
It's just insane. It's insane the amount of fuck ups there are, and I hate to say this, but I don't feel this way about any other company. But if I see EA are involved in a game these days, I genuinely don't want to buy it because I think I'm giving money to complete fucking cunts.
I know that spiel just like says no. That's like for me, I can't shop at Walmart. I just feel gross when I go in there. So when I see that, it's like no, I can't give them my money. I feel the same way about EA.
See, the thing it makes me sad about it is, I mean, these motherfuckers they fuck up left and right, but they went and published Brutal Legend, Shadows of the Damned, and fuck, there was one other title. Now it's slipping my mind for some reason. Well, there was one other title, and I for some reason.
Mirror's Edge.
Actually, I didn't even think about Mirror's Edge. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they don't give a shit about that one either because they're just a bunch of fucking cunt swabs, so it doesn't matter. But put it this way, they publish a few good games here and there, but when it's all internal shit that they have 100% control over, and they're not just acting as the publisher to a little small development studio, it's just what the fuck are you guys doing? Why do you run it like this? It's not like this is. Think of how many hundreds of thousands of people have said all the same shit that we're saying. People listening have said the same shit, and it's just this isn't news. You guys have had to have gotten this feedback and seen, that people are that fucking unhappy. And you have to see that your sales are dropping off left and right, even off of your big franchises, but the exception of sports ones, because let's be realistic, most sports fans don't give a flying fuck whatsoever. They just want to have an up-to-date roster, and that's it.
Well, yeah, let's be fair. They're not buying games. They're buying. They're actually just paying an annual subscription fee.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So, and Sainted, do you have anything else you would like to add to?
No, I think
just taking a big collective shit on EA.
I think the big collective shit on EA is getting pretty big and it's starting to snowball. But I'm going to say this: fix Need for Speed. I used to enjoy playing those games because I like customizing cars. I like driving the cars at stupid speeds down a public road. But for fuck's sake, stop making it like an epic movie. I just want to get in a car and drive it. Now, I know there's all these simulation races I could play and shit like that, but I want something that's got real cars in it, but fun. Think about it, EA. You had it good. You had what? The Hot Pursuit games, the early Hot Pursuit games, not the recent one. You had the Underground games, which are fantastic. And then you did well with the Most Wanted Blacklist one. That was pretty good as well. Now, you've got all these new ones, and the shit. Each one has just got progressively fucking worse. And I played the run, and I regret playing the run. I wasted 2 hours of my life on that fucking game, and I'm never going to waste another 2 hours on that game again. So, that's my collective shit that I've added to the pile. So anyway, move
Well,
on. I'm
I
fucking had
was
enough
gonna
of them.
say, and by the way, the last game I was thinking of was Alice Madness Returns. So I do
Okay.
apologize for forgetting that because it is a fantastic game. But that is something that they published, and unfortunately, the 3 titles I named off and Mirror's Edge being added into that, they just didn't give a shit about it. They're just like, yeah, I mean, we're doing good by, you know, getting these niche games out there and, you know, getting them on the store shelves and the homes of gamers, but we're not really going to try to tell everybody and their mother about them because, well,
Exactly.
Madden, yo.
I mean, like, just very briefly, one more thing. Like, they are seem to be constantly like losing money these days compared to like Ubisoft and Activision Blizzard and stuff. And much as I'm not a huge fan of big publishers, at least Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft seem to learn from their mistakes and not constantly be complete cunts like EA do. And that's the reason they're doing better. And I just wish EA got their shit together. I mean, I love Dragon Age, for example, as a franchise, and I'd really like to buy Dragon Age 3, but I'm pretty sure some NPC is going to walk up to me and go, aha, you can't go in this castle unless you buy the DLC day one. And I'd be like, fuck you.
After we've all learned with Dragon Age 2, we were all excited because Dragon Age 1 was good. And then it's just like, I can't wait to go to that section, which I can see right now. I'm looking right at it. Why can't I wait, how much? I just spent wait, no. And then the disc breaks just from like you having force powers and busting it up in the fucking machine just from knowing that that should not be happening. You should not be paying extra, but damn it, they will try. They will try.
Exactly. I'm not optimistic for the future of Mass Effect and Dragon Age as franchises, to be honest with you.
No.
Let
To be completely frank,
BioWare
it's
go.
pretty EA.
Let BioWare go. Simple.
Anyway, shall we move on?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes, and by the way, down with EA.
Down with EA.
Fucking bunch of shit dicks.
Big bunch of shit dicks.
Shit dicks and cunt swabs, all of them, the entire lot of them.
They're a big bag of shit dick cunt swabs.
All right. Anyway, it's time for the Hate Bit Mailbag, and this week's edition of the Hate Bit Mailbag brought to you by Clit Mints.
For the minty freshness.
For the minty fresh experience that you so deserve, Clit Mints. Just thought we'd drop that there for you, so, you know, feel free to enjoy yourself some Clit Mints this evening, won't you? So we got a little mail here coming to us at the hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook. You'll find links down below to all our individual channels if you want to get in touch with us in any way at all. And yeah, and if you don't, fuck yourself. What can I say? So we got a piece of mail here, and also you can also find myself and Alpha Omega Sin on the Miiverse on your Nintendo Wii U. So
yeah.
Look out for us. You can usually find us in the Nintendo Land Plaza for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Somebody uploaded a video because they found me on there. I was like, wow, that's fucking nuts.
I
There's
found
me running
Alpha.
around. That's cool.
See, that's great, man. See,
But I wasn't doing anything. I was just like walking around and shit. And it's like, dude, I'd be doing a lot more than that.
I have to say, you have a really cute bow.
Thank you.
He has a bow.
Actually, I think it's a cravat. It's not a bow. It's a cravat. But anyway, I don't know how I know that. Anyway, we got a piece of mail here coming to us at Gmail, but it comes from Wombat74, my good friend on the Nintendo Wii U Miiverse, and he's also friends with Alpha Omega Sin on there. So, like I said, find us and feel free to ask us anything on the Miiverse.
I think he's on my Twitter.
He just might be. He's a really great guy. So
He seems okay.
Yeah, you're on Twitter?
Yeah, he retweets everything I tweet for some reason.
Well, are you?
Yeah.
You're on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on
He's
Twitter.
Yeah, I see him tweeting all the time. Mr.
Yeah.
Magus.
Mr. Magus.
That's your name now.
Yeah. He was the STD Magnus. I remember that.
No,
yes.
Saint D Magnus.
Right. Whatever.
This pronunciation is amusing.
I know.
Whatever helps you sleep well at night. Anyway, Wombat says, "Hail and hail, well-met exuders of hatred." He says, "Firstly, I'd like to say, Yo Chaos, good job on keeping hidden from Sonic. Please keep pumping out your gems. I don't know what that means. So, Wombat, if you feel like dropping me a line on the Miiverse, what the fuck does that mean?" Anyway, he says, "Secondly, I recently lost my job." Aww.
Yay. Sorry.
He says, "To keep sane during my job hunt, I've been playing a lot on my 3DS, as you should be." He says, "I just burned through Tales of the Abyss and Fire Emblem Awakening." Wow, I'm not even done with Fire Emblem. He says, I was wondering if you could recommend any decent portable games that can be played in about 15 to 20-minute short bursts. And finally, thank you guys for doing such a great job. You guys, thank you for making me smile. Well, we're supposed to make you hate. He says, please keep having guest hosts. I really like to change the dynamic just a little. Well, we appreciate that. And still listening in 3D, Wombat74. Well, Wombat, if you got your 3DS there, if you know any game can really be played in 15 to 20-second short, or 20-minute short bursts because of the sleep feature on there. But there's a number of great games on the 3DS, and despite what Michael Pachter has to say. But one game that I have to, it's a total gem, and I really got to throw it out there. If you'll see it cheap, preferably if you live in North America, just to everybody, at Toys R Us, you can find Nano Assault, which was by Shinin Multimedia, I think. And I think that was a Majesco release. You got to pick up that one. That is a great one on the Nintendo 3DS. I think the way I can best describe it is it's Super Mario Galaxy crossed with Star Fox 64.
Yay.
So it's good stuff. Saint Magnus, do you still play the Nintendo 3DS?
I do, actually. I was going to suggest Mighty Switch Force, which I suggested to you, because it is actually uses the 3D quite cleverly.
Oh, yes. Fantastic piece. Now, I understand they released that a different version for the Nintendo Wii U, and I like the 3DS version better.
Yeah.
I like the sprite graphics better myself.
Yeah, the sprite work on it is fantastic. And it's also done by WayForward, and we know what WayForward are pretty good anyway, so that's definitely worth looking into. Also, they're making a sequel to it later this year, so yeah, 3DS.
Is that? I didn't hear about that.
I showed you the trailer of it.
You lie like a dog.
No, I don't lie like a dog.
Oh, wow.
I lie like a man on my bed.
Like a man.
Like a man's man.
Man. Now, Alpha Omegason, do you still play your Nintendo 3DS?
I haven't actually been playing any of my handhelds much lately. I've pretty much just been glued to my consoles for the most part. But I mean, most of the stuff that I've been wanting to play is just came out or is coming out soon. Like the new Castlevania came out. Was it
last week? It came out.
Yeah, Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate. That just looks amazing. And everybody I know that I've talked to has been just like, dude, you have to fucking get your hands on it. I'm a big Castlevania fan. I was kind of iffy about Lords of Shadow. I mean, it's an okay game, but it doesn't feel like a Castlevania game to me. It just feels like another game with Castlevania's name. But other than that, let's see. There's the Devil Summoner Soul Hackers coming out, which is something I'm a big Shin Megami Tensei fan, and I really really like that a lot, and especially concerned the fact that it was originally on Sega Saturn, and it was never going to make its way outside of Japan, and now we're finally getting our hands on it. So that's something I would say keep your eye out for. And the last thing I played on my 3DS, honestly, was Kingdom Hearts 3D, which is really good if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan. But if you're not, then it won't do shit for you. Yep, that's it.
Good point.
Oh, there you go. MangaMinx, do you have any portable suggestions for my good friend, Mr. Wombat?
Definitely. It's pretty much all I play at the moment, aside from stuff that I play on my YouTube channel. So, yeah. I just actually, literally, as we were talking, I purchased Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Wow. Now that's some influence. That was fast.
Well, I was going to actually pre-ordered Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate as well for the 3DS too, because that's out in a few days. A few weeks that it's out. But I have been playing Virtue's Last Reward, which is the sequel to 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. I was playing, last time we did the podcast, I was playing 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, which is a DS game, but is definitely worth playing, and you should play it before playing Virtue's Last Reward, which is a 3DS game, which is absolutely amazing. It's a stunning story, really just gripping, and, a good puzzle game as well. And you can save wherever you like, which is always handy too, so you can play it in short bursts, and it's really fucking good.
Cool.
See, a bunch of great suggestions right there.
And if you don't like it, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we do right here at the 8-Bit Podcast. If you don't like it, well, you can just fuck yourself with a turnip. That's right, with a turnip.
I feel sorry for the turnip.
I started thinking about Super Mario too.
Sorry, I've got the song in my
I fucking love that song, man. Anybody can talk shit on that one, and yes, I know it's not the official Super Mario. Shut the fuck up. Fucking hell. It's still a very good game, even if it's very different from the rest of the Super Mario franchise. I mean, fuck, it had Shy Guys. Shy Guys are badass. They're like really fat ninjas. Say what?
That's very good.
Really fat ninjas.
Oh, they are. They're like little fat ninjas with no necks. It's like the Oompa Loompa crowd for, all the Ninja Clan. It's kind of depressing, and they're just like, let's just shoot shit out of our mouth. It's awesome.
Actually, that's Mr. Fuji in disguise.
Oh, Mr. Fuji. Also, rest in peace, Paul Bear. You will be missed greatly. You were still the best all-time manager ever, even better than Bobby the Brain Heenan. I swear to.
That's right. Bill Moody passed away while we were gone, and that was a real shame.
Yeah.
Because he's the only person that I can think of throughout wrestling history that you don't really have a reason to hate.
Good.
No.
Any other influential personality you can think of, you've got a number of reasons to hate. I won't name names. Vince McMahon. So, there's that. And we miss him. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the hate-bitten mail, because everything else has just been a whole bunch of, increase the size of your penis. And MangaMinx, you should listen. This is important stuff. And something
we want to make sure that you have length and girth. You got to stay up to speed with us.
And vigor. That's what's most important.
Vigor. Plenty of that. We want to make sure that you're rambunctious about it too. You're just like, man.
Is the new sort of thing like have a vagina like a bat cave and things like that?
You got to make sure to have an Alfred too. You got to keep that thing fucking looking sparkling clean. Don't need all the guano bits down there.
Suits. That's very important. Place to keep the suits. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the mailbag, which is brought to us once again this week by Clit Mints.
Delicious.
Delicious. Clit Mints.
When something's kind of fishy, you know what to do. There you go.
Clit Mints.
There you go.
Red Lobster.
Anyway, breaking news. This I thought was really cool. Apparently, this last week, hackers managed to find the F-Zero AX Arcade Edition found on the original GameCube disc. How about that?
That makes you happy.
It does. How many years later, and they discovered this just recently? I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, if you have an Action Replay Max and a copy of F-Zero GX, you can unlock it. Or you can just have a modified Wii and download it as its own specific game onto the system and play it that way. But it's just kind of cool to think that F-Zero GX, being the best F-Zero of the entire bunch, I don't care what anybody says, it's just an absolutely amazing game. Also has the Triforce arcade version that Namco, Nintendo, and Sega had all gotten together and were making games. So you got an arcade game and a console game rolled up into one. You just got to unlock it. I wish that they would have made that unlockable somehow, like do some kind of extraordinary feat within the game, and you get the entire AX legitimately. That, or just make a legit release on Wii U or something. That'd be cool.
But that makes everybody happy, not having to go and carry the GameCube memory card with them all the time just to find one little game.
Dude, I still want to jump inside of the cockpit of the arcade cabinet, like the real arcade one, because I've never seen one in person. I've never gone to try.
You've never seen one?
I mean, I've seen pictures and I've seen videos.
I've never seen one that wasn't completely fucked up.
I've heard that too. I heard that it is absolutely hellish to maintain. Like, if you do not, like, if you personally are trying to like obtain one, then you need to know how to fix it, or else you'll be paying out the ass every time you want to play it.
And I also understand that's sort of a symptom of really fat teenagers.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're just destroyed.
I've been to some arcades in the UK, and the machines have been that badly done, because where you go to like somewhere like Blackpool or somewhere like that, and you go to these arcades, they have every single little kid that's off school climbing on it. And seriously, they just wrench the bloody wheels from side to side, or the controls backwards and forwards. And those things are designed to take some punishment, but fucking hell. Give them to a kid? Jesus Christ. They're broken. I walked up to a race machine once and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. It's going to work. I thought it was one of them motorized ones, so he actually gave you a bit of feedback. No, the steering wheel was just fucking broken.
It's an easy solution to that. You just kill all children and everything will be fine.
Or just pop them
Super
pop them
late-term
out.
abortions
Pop them
are
out.
okay.
Pop them out until they're about 16 years old. Then they're not as annoying as 5-year-olds. There you go.
Oh, I don't know. I think that really depends on the 16 or 17
I
year
was going to
old.
say that's definitely debatable.
Because you know what? There's at least 4 or 5 16 or 17-year-olds listening to this show right now that I'd like to beat the fuck out of. So let me make that absolutely clear.
I think we need to get a 15 or 16-year-old host on here to actually be.
Oh no, there's a bunch of 15 or you know what? That it's time to address that actually. There's a bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-olds who think they know better than me and would love to be on this show, and I fucking dare you. We will shred you. There's a bunch of shitty pants little assholes who comment on this podcast and make comments on the fucking channel page and send fucking attacks at me and attacks at Alpha Omega Sin who think they know better than us and have some sort of an idea they can just come on our show and they're gonna fucking own us. Well, that doesn't happen and it won't happen. So sit down and enjoy yourself in the fucking audience. Anyway, F-Zero was a great game.
It was. Still
it
is.
was, and you know what? And why is that? See, I really, and despite what Miyamoto has said, wouldn't you love to see a new F-Zero?
You've got a new F-Zero. It's on
dude,
Nintendo Land.
It's
absolutely waxed.
That is not F-Zero.
Like here's my thing: if they're gonna make another F-Zero, I'll be completely honest. I want Sega to develop it again. That's the honest truth. They knocked it out of the fucking park with GX. I would like Nintendo to put their faith back into Sega again and do it again and even bigger and better. It also helps with the fact that I've been playing a lot of Sega racing games lately, and the fact is those motherfuckers know their shit. So, yep.
Yeah.
Well, they do. I mean, shit, we could go on forever about Sega racers. I mean,
That's a discussion topic for later on down the line, I think.
But the job they did on the F-Zero GX on the GameCube, and on the Triforce board was fantastic.
Some of the Sega Rally games are still good.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I still have fun popping in Sega Rally 95 on the Sega Saturn and bouncing around on that. Literally bouncing around from side to side.
I've never played F-Zero GX. I've played the SNES one and the N64 one, but is it really that? To be fair, I haven't actually played a single GameCube game apart from Luigi's Mansion.
I'll be completely honest.
What?
Okay, GX. Like, I like fast racing games. I like the Wipeout games. I like the Burnout games. I like F-Zero. F-Zero GX wipes the floor with everything in terms of just overall speed. It's kind of like the first time that you played Unreal Tournament back in the day, because it's all about like twitchy reflexes and stuff. You don't have a lot of time to react, and it just hones your fucking abilities as a racer. But the level design is just absolutely out of control, like twists and turns. Like, imagine the most sickening roller coaster in the entire world. Now imagine on a really grand scale with like 30 people racing. And that's another thing about GX that's cool, is that it's not just a couple people racing and then the fodder racers that they just put out like in on the very first F-Zero just to get in your way. This is a fuck ton of people that are just trying to just like bump you off the road, kill you, and go and just move up ahead in the ranks. It's insane. And the story mode is so bad it becomes amazing and Oscar worthy. Like the voice acting, it's a fucking train wreck, but it's funny as fuck.
It's like Sega had made their very own Ed Wood movie. But I mean, speaking of that, before we move on any further, I mean, you said it'd be great for Sega to do it, but you know how Sony recently put Psygnosis out of business. Wouldn't it be amazing for them to have their own crack at the F-Zero franchise?
That would be cool.
I think it would. I think, because, there's obviously still that animosity between, Sega and, because I understand that the reason there's not been much talk on the F-Zero front is because Miyamoto didn't like GX. If that's what I understand.
But he doesn't even seem to fucking give a shit about F-Zero. Like, the way that he talks about it as if he's speaking on behalf of an entire fan base and potential fan base of people that there is no interest in it, which I think is completely asinine. Whenever you have people like frothing at the fucking jowls, okay, that want to be able to get their hands not on just another F-Zero, but like a fresh IP. And the fact is that we've been F-Zero deprived, so it would seem fresh.
We've also been new IP deprived as well.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, and we've said this time and again. It had been so cool to see this shit pop up on the 3DS, and it would. Now you have a fucking Wii U tablet controller, and we got the little Nintendo Land game, but okay, that's bitch. That's like bitch work by comparison. That thing's like amazingly slow. It's fucking tilt controls. That's not even training mode.
That one was like playing F-Zero, but like on the Hot Wheels track, where you're kind of stuck on the rail in the middle and just it's like, no, that's not the same thing. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of great F-Zero games, and I know Alpha Omega Sin, your favorite being F-Zero GX. Is that true?
Awesome. It's fantastic, and I'm going to maintain my enthusiasm. God fucking damn it. No, F-Zero GX really is like my favorite of bunch, but the music in it is shit compared to F-Zero X, which is just fucking bonerific, awesome metalies for you to race really fast to. I can do that. Tongue twister time.
Awesome. It's funny you should mention F-Zero X, because I've got an odd feeling that it might be the favorite game in the franchise for the rest of us. Is that right, guys?
I think so. You know what also is great about the F-Zero franchise? For those of you who don't know, fans, the Sainted Magnus sucks at F-Zero on the Super Nintendo. So if you want to
shameless. Oh wait, is this a shameless plug or is this like an exploit?
It's a shameless fucking beatdown. That's what it is.
I think this is a
shameless beatdown.
So
yeah, bad mouthing me, you cunt.
If you want a good laugh, take the drop down box down below. Have a visit at Sainted Magnus' channel and find the Let's Play of F-Zero on the original Super Nintendo. It is a laugh riot.
It's in the Sainted Selection series. Now you can do it. Go for it. The shameless plug thing. Come on. Somebody else has to do it. I can't do it for myself.
Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Go to his channel now.
That is the worst YouTube cliche in history. It's like back in the day. Everybody uses that fucking back in the day phrase. It's bollocks. It wasn't back in the day, because back in the day it was yesterday, for fuck's sake.
Back in the day, you mean last month? Yeah, that's retro.
Yeah, way back when.
I've got a PS2. Is that retro? No, it fucking isn't. That's last generation.
If you have to ask if it's retro, it probably isn't, and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And awesome.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Sainted.
Yes.
You really suck at that game. Anyway, fan.
Chaos.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Oh, well, whatever. So anyway, fans, it's been about 3 weeks now since PlayStation, Sony's non-event, their press conference about the, I guess, sort of showing of the PlayStation 4, and it's been some time. We've had time to really let it sink in and, really gauge how we feel, because we got a lot of flack for what happened, what we had to say right after the event. And now I think it's time, because myself and a number of other people have had the discussion, have time to talk about it. And Sainted Magnus, you're getting put under the microscope this time, because you are the resident Sony fan here, and you defend them for some reason. I have no idea. I don't know how much you make from them.
I defend them for the good things they do, but I jump on the fucking scrotums when they do a bad thing.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then do your scrotum.
I've always done that. It's just everybody figures that because he's a Sony fanboy, that he's going to fucking defend it all the time. Well, I don't defend it all the time, so shut the fuck up and let's get on with it.
Well, you said it, not me. But tell me, what are your thoughts now that we're 3 weeks out here and you've had time to consider whether or not you're going to purchase the PlayStation 4? What do you think?
Well, we all knew that I'd say whether I was going to get it or not very, very quickly. And the short and long answer of it all is that I do plan to get the PlayStation 3. Now, it's just a case of whether I get it on day one or do I wait until we've got games. Now, if we're going to go off history and it repeats itself like what they did with the Vita, where we don't get any games for it for nearly a year and a half, then I probably won't pick it up. I'll probably stick with the PlayStation 3 for another year or two. If the game lineup is as kick-ass as I hope it's going to be, then I might consider picking it up day one, maybe even day two or month two, as I mentioned before. So now a lot of people are going to use the technical specs. It's going to be very similar to the PC. It's going to be very this. It's going to be very that. And a lot of people are moaning over nothing with the damn thing. For fuck's sake, the thing's not even come out the gate and everybody's already consigning it to the history books as the biggest failure that Sony's ever had. For fuck's sake, give the damn thing a chance.
I do have to say that is very unfair. A lot of people are willing to judge this thing, but let's face it. When you can't say that the press conference was a bit of a non-event, they didn't say a whole lot. That's just it. They didn't say a whole lot, and so many people want to draw, their own conclusions on this machine without really knowing anything about it. So I hope it does well. I really do, but
That's true.
But when we made our criticisms, we were criticizing the press conference itself, the event that essentially told us nothing about this machine. But I'm thinking of this in worst case scenario terminology, and I have a feeling that if this is the entire scope of what Sony plans to accomplish with the PlayStation 4, which of course it isn't, but based off of that, this is essentially like the second coming of the Atari Jaguar, a super powerful machine that completely misses the point. And I know I can't be alone in that assertion. MangaMinx, you had something to say about that. You have feelings, I assume.
Yeah, I do. I have so many feelings.
See, I've heard otherwise, but
I mean, a lot of I saw in the comment section of the last podcast that we were all hating on the PS4 and stuff, and I wouldn't say I was like you said, I wouldn't say I was necessarily hating on the PS4. I was hating on the conference itself and the fact that it seemed to completely miss the point about what people want from a games console, in my opinion. I am a huge fan of the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. I never got a PlayStation 3 because I considered it overpriced, and I just never purchased it for that reason mainly. It just seemed to be a completely different type of console to the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. And I would love Sony to go back to their roots and produce something that rings true to their old methodology behind their consoles, and I really hope they do well. And I'd love them to, because as far as I'm concerned, Microsoft are a bunch of scumbags, and I don't really want to buy an Xbox. And in terms of power, it's probably going to be a lot more powerful than the Wii U. Let's face it. So in terms of that side of the market, I do hope the PlayStation 4 is a good console, and I hope it does well. I'm just not that optimistic that Sony actually know what people want.
Well, they do seem a bit
No,
left in the dark.
Yeah, well, I think it's a matter of someone wants to be regarded as this company that makes really powerful, professional grade electronics, but somehow tries to sell them to ordinary, consumers, and it doesn't work that way. There's a reason that you look at, for instance, YouTube. You look at it way back when everyone was doing it on, the video feature on their digital camera or whatever, and they were kind of grainy because this expensive equipment was out of the range of regular people. And now this seems to me like it's going to be a real heavy-duty machine that's not really going to bring any new experiences. We'll see, but and I don't know. I still think the controller looks fucked up. It looks like it has a disease of some kind.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do when I get hold of that controller is get a screwdriver, take it apart, and remove the share button. Because where they've got that thing positioned, that thing is positioned literally where the D-pad is. If you look at the pictures, where the D-pad is, if you go about half an inch to the right, there's this little button and it says share right above it. If you accidentally slide your finger off the bloody D-pad in a heated fight on Tekken, for example, you're going to press that button, and then you're going to share it all over the internet.
It's like a trap. Like, you can imagine Admiral Akbar going, "It's a trap."
It's a trap. Family Guy.
It is.
Family Guy. It's a trap. Sorry. Yeah. So basically, they're just trying to force Facebook down our necks. They're trying to turn everything into Facebook. Facebook is the be-all and end-all of the internet. Fucking YouTube's doing it. PlayStation's doing it. No doubt fucking Xbox are going to do something along the lines. Oh shit, they already do. Smart glass. Yeah, you want to see something? Share it on the smart glass. Show it to all your friends on the smart glass. Fuck's sake.
That's one thing is, all this technology is designed to bring us even closer together. And one thing that I have taken away from this entire experience of all the game consoles and everybody wanting to be part of a social media network, I'm just sick and fucking tired of people.
I feel like
I
that
have
every day.
fucking had it with people,
Yeah.
and all I want is a game. But apparently, they think talking to your friends about wanting to play a game is so much more important than actually giving us a game.
Well, as we've mentioned before with the whole the SimCity fiasco, they want us all to be online. Not many people are going to stay online for very long because it's just...
Because they're sick and tired of people.
Yeah, we're sick and tired of people. We're sick and tired of social gaming sometimes on, playing online. I play an online game and I want to play it casually and enjoy it. No, but you're going to find some dickhead on there that sits there fapping away to this fucking game. He's never played any other game except this one game. And you go on there and he purposely goes up to you in the game to beat you fucking senseless for no reason whatsoever but to gratify his own fucking erection. Fucking hate those sorts of gamers. That's why nobody plays online I don't. None of my friends play online like that because it's just full of dickheads like that. I'm sick.
And do you think that's going to be a breeding ground on the PlayStation 4? Is that what you're saying?
It's going to be a breeding ground on the PlayStation 4. It already is a breeding ground on the fucking Xbox 360. God knows what it's like on the PC. I'm sure MangaMinx will fill us in on that one.
It's not actually that bad.
No! So it looks like we're going to end up going on to the PCs. Which,
Yeah, it seems like it's much
hang on,
more.
the PlayStation 4 is made out of PC components. Hang on, the Xbox 720, whatever fucking degree of angle they're going to choose for this next fucking system, that's going to be made up of PC parts. Hang on, the Xbox 360 was a PC in effect. Oh, and also was the original Xbox. Yeah, so basically they're just turning all computers into PCs. We're going to end up PC games and everybody will be happy. Yay. Moving on.
Hello, the PC gaming master race.
You will play PC games! If not, cooler. 3 weeks.
How do you like that? You come to the Hate Bit podcast looking for a little bit of information and you get sent to a gulag.
Cooler.
Well,
Weeks.
Anyway, so it's the thing with the PlayStation 4, it's a continuing endeavor. You know who's been quiet, and I can't believe this, is Alpha Omega Sin. He hasn't said a word.
Yep. We're actually quite a bit to say, but I want to let everybody get their jollies off. First off, for everybody that was trying to jump on our asses about the entire press conference, we were judging the press conference. Everybody has already stated that, but I'll fucking state it. We were judging the press conference. The press conference, which was a rerun, because we've known this, all this information, for the most part, at least 80% of it, for months. So shut the fuck up. Secondly, the biggest thing that I'm going to judge about the PlayStation isn't going to be until probably summer when we get E3 rolling. And, they're basically prepping everybody for the holiday season in fall. And they actually show off the games. Because I don't give a fuck what logo you have on your system. I don't give a fuck about brand loyalty. I'm not loyal to a goddamn thing other than entertainment. And the fact is, at the end of the day, whatever games it has on it, they need to go and impress me for me to go and buy the machine. If you don't have games that I want, then I will either wait and bide my time elsewhere and amuse myself, or I just won't get your machine at all. And that'll pretty much be the end of that. But and right now they've shown off two things. A Killzone game. I could give a fuck less about Killzone, frankly. Somebody had said in the comments, which I do remember this specifically because I want to punch a hole through the dude's fucking head. What would you rather do, play Luigi's Mansion? Yeah, asshole. I would rather play Luigi's Mansion than play motherfucking Killzone. Do you have a fucking problem with that? If so, you can go and get in line with all the other fucking jackoffs that have a problem with that and suck my fucking dick. Now, the other one was Infamous. Frankly, I'm a big fan of Infamous, and it looked fantastic. And when we go in terms of like the capabilities of the machine, yeah, it's capable of all the things that my computer is right now. And you want to know what? That thing cost me $1,200 to build. And I'm sure there'll be a couple of fucking numbnuts that'll be like, you paid that much? Yeah, my computer is basically able to fucking run an entire fucking corporation, so fuck off. And you can ask MangaMinx. She poured some money into her computer, and it's a fucking beast too. So anyway, But the PlayStation looks like it's going to have specs basically along the lines of a top-end PC. That's fantastic. The architecture is going to make it better for developers to go and make something. Again, that's fantastic. The fact that it's not backwards compatible really fucking burns my ass, and the fact that your PSN purchases don't carry over, we gonna have any fanboys trying to go and defend that? The backwards compatibility, yeah, I know. Oh, just keep your old game console until they stop working and they don't support online. You can't patch the games that are unplayable when you first get them, but whatever, idiots. But then we also have the fact that your PSN purchases don't carry over. The digital purchases don't carry over to something that they're still going to have PSN, the PlayStation Network, but PlayStation Network stuff won't carry over to PlayStation Network. Explain that paradox. So, yeah, that's my issue with it. And the whole sharing thing, Nintendo's just as fucking guilty of this, so I'm not going to fucking go and act like I'm choosing sides. I don't care about social media. I don't care about fucking being friendly with a bunch of people when I'm playing games. Frankly, I'm very content with just playing a game by myself. I don't go online and play games a whole hell of a lot, even if I'm somewhere like where everybody's playing online. I'm like, where's the one-player section? There isn't one? I need to leave. I can hear people breathing. I'm not really all about that. I'm really a one-player type of person, unless it's a fighting game, and I want to play a fighting game locally with somebody sitting beside me. Because the fact is, when you start acting like an asshole, I can pop you in your mouth. So I think that's a much better experience overall. But yeah, a lot of people are just jaded over all of the responses people are having, whether they're positive or negative, to the whole PlayStation fucking press conference that they had. At the end of the day, it was a press conference filled with stuff that we had already known. The few things we didn't know, like the fact that they showed off 2 games, we didn't see those coming, and yeah, they looked really good. One of them I don't give a shit about. Doesn't mean that it's a bad game. I just don't give a shit. And they actually showed that the PlayStation Move will be useful. Who would have thought of that? The entire time that
I think the definition of useful is highly questionable at this point.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, when they were showing like the way that you could go and create stuff, and everybody's like real big on creation right now, thanks mainly in part to Minecraft right now. But creation within games is a very, very cool concept to have at any time. And seeing the way that people are just like waving the Move controller around, I was like, wow, look at that. That's pretty fucking impressive. And then Sony was like, hey, we have a Kinect too. And everybody was like, oh, you're doing that thing again, taking ideas. Oh. And also, if anybody's like, you're just bashing Sony. Listen, asshole. Now, I have collectively between PS1 and PS2 over 500 fucking games. And the PlayStation 1 is my all-time favorite game console ever. So I don't want to fucking hear anything. Super Nintendo being at a very close second. But regardless, I'm going to save most of my judgment for this system for E3 when they really let everything out the gates. I want to see what games you're going to have. I want to see how much this machine's going to cost at the end of the day. And I want to know how much the games are going to cost, because people are rumoring that they're going to be $100, but that's what they were rumored for the Wii U. So I don't really believe that. I think it's just like some default dirt price or some shit. But yeah, and see, and everybody was like, Alpha's been quiet. Now you can't get the motherfucker to shut up about it. So yeah, there's everything I have to say. And if you have a problem, I have a nail gun. So fuck off.
And that
if
is
you
all
have a
she
problem,
wrote.
I have a nail gun.
That was awesome.
So, Mr.
Fantastic.
Chaos, your honest, full-hearted, whole whatever bullshit you want to say about the system, get it off your chest now.
I'll lay it out evenly and simply, because you and I had a discussion with Sprites and Bytes and Return to Mother Base, did we not?
Yes, we did.
And Sprites and Bytes, he came at me, because he was all in favor of it. And I hope he's listening right now. That way he can get a load of this. But he came right at me and says, well, aren't you looking forward to it? Like I was expected to be looking forward to it. And I said, yeah, I'm looking forward to purchasing it from $150 at clearance at Best Buy. That's what I'm looking forward to. So, and that's what I'll say about the PlayStation 4. Anyway, on to other news. The Kinect Fusion, which I understand is the Kinect for the Xbox Durango or whatever they're gonna call their new system, apparently, supposedly, can tentatively render 3D models of what it sees on the fly, and this scares the shit out of me. For more, because I'm scared shitless, we go to Alpha Omega Sin.
Yes, indeedy. I'd seen this online, and the fact is, no matter how much shit we've given to Connect over the course of time that it's been released, does not matter because all the applications outside of the Xbox 360 that it's been capable of it's mind-boggling. It's literally one of the coolest fucking things in the entire world, just in terms of what it's been able to do, for people that really tinkered with the hardware. And recently they showed, and this is something really cool for indie developers. One of the main reasons why I thought that this was kind of interesting was they basically took the Kinect camera and they were just moving it all around a room. Basically they'd move it all around an entire person, and it modeled them like completely, like from head to toe. They modeled an entire room. They modeled a couple items, such as there was a mug that they had sitting on the table. So they just moved the Kinect camera around it. Then eventually there was a 3D model inside of the computer. And when they went and moved her hand in front of the Kinect where the camera was and they picked it up, it would actually pick up the 3D model, inside the computer, and turned it and moved it in all the different ways, at all the contours, all the details of it. You could even skin them on the fly, which I'm talking like this was going really, really fast, the way that they were doing everything, meaning game development time for people that don't have a lot of funds could be done, they could get a higher production for next to no money whatsoever. And on top of that, just when we were talking about creation earlier, when I had mentioned it, with things like Minecraft and the PlayStation Move controller being utilized with the PlayStation 4, just imagine something like this, and then just imagine coupling this with a 3D printer. That right there is something that I was thinking about. I'm like, God damn, that would be really fucking cool. I mean, you could make like your own custom anything at that point. And 3D printers, for lower scale ones, you're talking like 250 to anywhere to like $500. But regardless, just it's pretty damn impressive. But indie developers definitely are going to be taking note of something like this, and that are just people who are bored and want to fuck about with their Kinect and get use out of it, since obviously no games are.
Yeah, that's true.
You see, it's a really neat concept, but this really just screams at me that Microsoft is now in competition with Google to call themselves Skynet. I mean, this is it's interesting technology, to say the very least. However, like you said with the 3D printer, you realize this is going to make it so much easier to make a stand-up cardboard cutout of your friend.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can technically do that now. I shit you not. I thought about making a cardboard cutout of myself, like flipping the bird and grabbing my crotch and put it by the door just to greet people on the way in. I mean, it'd be like $100 or some shit like that. I forgot what the exact amount it was to go and print them out, but I just thought it'd be hilarious just have it stand.
I know, and pretty soon you'll be able to pick them up in the 8-bit store before you know it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like that. But again, look at like this, everybody. Even if the Kinect is getting no love from game developers around the world, all the applications outside of gaming, it's a pretty fucking cool device. And this is just something that'll help game developers hopefully make games a lot easier, faster, and do shit they normally wouldn't have been able to because they didn't have the talent or the resources to do it.
That is true.
So, and anything new is always a good thing. Well, except for that microtransaction thing. I can't think when that was ever a good idea.
No, that's it's a good thing, assuming that you're the one receiving the money. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to beat the shit out and through you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and that's purely just the makings of a ruse, a scam. Speaking of ruses and scams, though, do you know the War Z was recently relisted on Steam? Did you hear about this?
Oh my god!
Did you hear about that? You know who knows most about it? MangaMinx. She could tell us all about the War Z, because I just recently became familiarized with the, shall we say, scandal of the War Z, and maybe she can give us a little more in depth for those who are not really clear on what happened over. I guess this happened around Christmas time, so I was a little late. But
it happened in December.
My dear, tell me all about it. What happened here?
Okay, so the War Z is, for those of you who don't know, is a zombie survival game where you are put in a zombie-filled environment and you interact with other players and survive is the idea. It's very much like DayZ, except it isn't free like DayZ is, which, seeing as it was a lot worse than DayZ, probably wasn't a good idea to charge for it. But anyway, I'll explain. So around December time, it was put on Steam, and basically there was a lot of controversy at the time claiming that the description on the Steam store at the time was not 100% truthful. Let's say it that way. It claimed to have X number of players that you could play with at one time, and you couldn't do that. It claimed to have huge maps, and the maps actually weren't the size it claimed the maps were. As well as paying for the game, it also has microtransactions, which a lot of people obviously are put off by in general. And just the fact that the game itself wasn't particularly good. I have played it. I played it a while ago around the time of the controversy, and it was boring as fuck. I spent maybe an hour wandering along, got killed by zombies, and then I realized I couldn't respawn my character for, I think it was maybe 4 hours or something like that. So I had to make another character, which is fine. So I made another character and wandered along for a bit, and I hit some zombies with a torch, and I found another player, and I was really excited. Then he shot me, and I had to make another character. Of course, you can resurrect your characters instantly if you pay money with microtransactions. And I think actually after I played it, they may have extended the death time even further, like the amount of time between you can access the character. I can't remember the exact time, I must admit, but it was horrible, and it was clearly at the time missold. So Valve took it off Steam in wake of the controversy. They were like, no, they said they were working with the developers to make it a better quality product or something along those lines, and it's now back on Steam. I haven't actually played it in its most recent state, and well, I'm sure they have resolved some of the things. I'm sure the blurb isn't going to be as scandalous this time on Steam, but at the same time, I just fucking hate games like this. I fucking hate DayZ as well, but at least that's fucking free. All the games seem to entail is you running away from zombies for fucking hours, occasionally meeting another player who shoots you in the face, and then doing it all over again. Except in Z, there's fucking microtransactions as well, which just like the fucking massive pile of diarrhea on top of the already stagnant turd.
Oh my god! Yeah. So not only do you get shot in the face, you get to pay real money for it.
Exactly. It's when I played it, it was a pile of shit, and I hate to say it, but I think a lot of people are going to hate on me for this because loads of people love DayZ. I think DayZ is shit as well. My experiences of DayZ are just running through the woods, bleeding, while hordes of zombies chase me for hours, and nothing else.
Wow.
What is the enjoyment in that, honestly?
A lot of people do. I mean, I'm sure there are people who enjoy it, and there are people who really get into the survival thing, and there are people who meet up with their friends and stuff. But I don't have any fucking friends. I don't want to fucking socialize. No.
Yeah. So therefore, yeah, it's just running and bleeding.
No, it's not actually. I did try and play it with friends. Yeah, the map is huge, and we all spawned on opposite sides of it. So actually meeting up was never going to happen in a million fucking years.
Not unless one of you is a good navigator.
As soon as we had to play the game,
Everybody run diagonally.
We tried to. I think one of us found the other one once in like 5 hours, and that was it. And then we died.
Now that's quality. That's an evening just filled with quality entertainment.
That does sound like quality entertainment. Now, I just want to clear something up before we move. While we're on the topic of zombies. Now, a lot of people say Call of Duty has Nazi zombies. Bullshit. It started in Wolfenstein. Play the first game, you'll understand exactly what I mean. There we go. Please continue.
Yeah. Anyway,
I just had to get it off my chest.
I'm not a fan of those games, so yeah.
Well, so essentially, now apparently they worked with it and they got it all better, which essentially means they took a piece of shit and they put a nice cravat on it.
In my opinion, pretty much, yeah.
They added chocolate sprinkles on top of
the chocolate sprinkles on the poo-poo and a cravat. That's very good.
Turned out to be a rabbit
I
dropping.
can't say I'm rushing to play it. I'm like, oh, I've got to play this again. I've got to see the changes. I couldn't give a fuck, really.
Yeah.
The damage is already done.
Exactly. So therefore, fuck the War Z. Why not?
Scarred for life. How does that feel?
It wasn't even Scar for Life. Just bored. Like fucking.
She was bored for life.
I mean, I can't imagine a less eventful zombie apocalypse than the ones portrayed in these games. You might as well just to be fair, you could just stand still and you'd be fine because the zombies would just never they just wander around like in the distance a bit.
Yeah, just go out to an open clearing where there's a nice cool breeze and
Run for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Wow, remember when video games were fun?
Do you remember when you could play a video
Oh, no,
game and you
I don't
actually
remember that.
enjoyed it?
I know, I don't remember that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But, since that's what we do, you know what it's time for?
What?
It's time for the video game circle jerk. We haven't
Oh,
done one. Well, actually,
God.
we did one not too long ago, but some time has passed, and Alpha Omega Sin said we have to do one. And when Alpha Omega Sin says jump, you say, haha, what the fuck are you going to do about it? But anyway,
Here's a ladder.
Alpha Omega Sin, what you been playing over there, man?
I just beat Tomb Raider last night. As a matter of fact, right now my brother literally just put it inside PS3. He technically bought it because he's a big fan of Tomb Raider. But yeah, we rushed up, we snatched up a copy, and I played through it first, and it's fantastic. It's really, really, really good. The only gripe a lot of people have seemingly been having with it is the lackluster multiplayer, which I have not touched because I don't care. And the fact that it's a lot like Uncharted, but like I was telling everybody before the podcast, Tomb Raider was doing it before Uncharted, and both of them are ripping off Indiana Jones. So shut up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it plays well, it looks well, it's a lot of fun. The story is kind of meh. Like I really don't care about all the characters. I care about Laura. She did a really her character is really awesome in this game just because there's a overall feeling of dread the entire time. Like you feel like you're going to die, and the AI in the game is fantastic. There was tons of times they flanked me and I had no clue where they were at. They were taking cover when it seemed appropriate, and overall just really good. The only characters the AI that was really dumb on is like the big characters you're fighting one-on-one. They're fucking imbeciles. Level design's fantastic. It's just, and the lighting in the game is surprisingly really cool too. And there's some really gory sections that would make for fantastic covers to like Decapitated or Cannibal Corpse or some shit. It's great stuff, or Torture Killer or some shit like that. But let's see. Yeah, played that, beat the shit out of it. Then like the past couple days I've been playing the living hell out of Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed on the Wii U.
Ooh.
And hands down, like I played the demo and I liked it a lot, and I was like, I really gotta get my hands on a game. So I got it, and my girlfriend's down for the weekend, and we've been playing it nonstop, like just absolutely nonstop. We went through, beat a bunch of tracks on easy, going back through, beating them on medium, and they ramp up the difficulty like a motherfucker on that. I'm talking like even if you're going through on perfect, like, not messing up anything, getting all your turbos and stuff, they're still like right on your ass. So it's and hard mode is like impossible. I don't give a shit what anybody says, but it's got some of the coolest levels you'll see in any racing game. I would dare say it's probably one of the best racing games I've played in ever. And that's not even like me trying to say, oh, no, it's really good, you should try it. No, I mean, it's fantastic. It's mainly the level design I like a lot. The control naturally is really good, but it's just the level design is so damn cool. Like Skies of Arcadia, that has a fantastic stage. Some of the Sonic stages are really good. The Panzer Dragoon stage is really fun. It's just the Nights into Dreams stage. That's also really cool. It also fucks you up really bad because it's like the ground's on the ceiling and it's on the ground, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Then
I have a question about Transformed.
What?
Like obviously you get to go through like flights and boats and cars. How's the transition go? Is it pretty? Is it seamless?
Smooth and it's fast. Like
I already own it on the PC, but I haven't actually played it yet, so it's definitely worth a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you got two motherfuckers saying it. The trans. What's up?
No, just clearing my throat. Keep going.
The transition, like, say, okay, and it changes like per lap. So that's one of the nice things about it. It's not like you're seeing the same thing, three laps in. The stages will change, and one lap you'll be going around and you're just driving the entire time. Then all of a sudden, part of the stage will break away and the ground falls out from underneath you and you turn into the jet and you're just flying, and the entire background is something different. You're just flying through space and stuff. And then you land back on the ground. You're on a different part of the track. You go back through, then you'll go off one area because the track sends you off to the right, and you'll go up like the side of a mountain, jump off this one thing, and you turn into a boat and you start going down a river, avoiding all these obstacles. And this is all seamless and timeless, and it's just well, not timeless, that was a wrong phrase, but still, you get my point. It's very, very smooth, really good. But the only downside is it seems like I said, when you get into the higher difficulties, they add ketchup into that game and then some. Like, they stay on your ass no matter how perfect you are. And this isn't a matter of somebody saying, well, I'm not good at the game, I don't like that they keep up. They just, like, they're on your ass no matter what. I'm talking like the really slow people are speeding past you. Meanwhile, they have shit for top speed and acceleration, which makes no sense.
Yeah,
and they should actually be garbage. But yeah, that's like probably my only gripe with it. And I haven't tried playing online or anything like that. And yeah,
it sounds like one of those types of games you would actually enjoy playing online with, if it's a group of friends. Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, I mean, with something like with racing games, I actually like playing racing games with other people. But I mean, this is a game you can play it by yourself and still have a lot of fun. But it's one of those things like sit in a room and pass the controller around to a lot of people, because that's pretty much what I've been doing with it since I got it, and I've loved the hell out of it. And I don't know, I'd highly recommend it, even to people that are just like, I don't like racing games all that much. I like kart racing games. Well, this is like right up your alley. So imagine like Diddy Kong Racing, but 10 times better. And that's the truth.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Check it out. I'm gonna download it now.
Get it on Steam.
I've already got it on Steam. I just need to download it.
That's what I mean. So, who's next? Let's have a look. Chaos, you've been quiet.
Did you determine that at random?
Yes.
Out of all the people on this podcast, me.
Yes, well, I couldn't exactly nominate myself, could I?
I know. I mean, you could, but whatever.
Go on, your turn.
Okay, then I think I will go on. I was going to make a joke about how you...
Get jerking.
I'm working. I was just going to make a joke about how you suck at F-Zero, but I figured to pull back, I would be classy. A lot going on for me, actually, because of the move. I'm actually spending a little more time. For those who didn't know, that myself and Mrs. Joe Chaos recently relocated, which is why there's been less activity. But I've been on my 3DS a lot and still playing a lot of Fire Emblem Awakening, and I know that I was all about this game the last time we spoke, and I still can't say enough good things about it, and I'm still having a great time. I'm going slow about it. I'm not getting diving knee deep into the DLC packs that keep coming out, because I'm not really huge into that. I like to buy a game once, but the story is fantastic, and there's twists and turns, and if you really it really can challenge your strategy. And like I said, I was never really into these games, with the exception of the Fire Emblem series, and I find that it's opening me up to other strategy RPG games, so I'm very thankful for that. And then over on actually been working on the Nintendo Wii, just the old Wii. Been working on a lot lately. Been playing Excitebots Trick Racing. Anybody ever get it? That game is a blast.
Dude, yes, that game. Like I've told that and Excite Truck. Excite Truck was a lot of fun.
Excite Truck is a great game.
Excitebots takes everything about Excite Trucks and just like amps it up tenfold.
And better color on that one.
Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're in like imagine Transformers and insects and bugs and shit, and you're just like vehicles, just little cars, just going absolutely apeshit up mountains and hitting big jumps like in the old San Francisco Rush games. It's fun.
Oh, it's an absolute blast. And you know what? Speaking of, there was other news that, for those who didn't know about the Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D coming to the Nintendo 3DS, that's actually being handled by Monster Games, the same people that did Excitebots and Excite Truck, and also Excite Bike World Rally. For those of you who don't familiar with that one, Excite Bike World Rally on the WiiWare service, which I'm actually going to play right after the podcast, now that I think about it. Also, been down on the Wii U still, and I'm still, we've been a little bit of a drought thanks to goddamn Ubisoft. So I've been playing, still trying to master a whole bunch of stuff on Nintendo Land, having a great time with that. And on the PlayStation 3, have not been playing PlayStation 3 games, but I have been using the PlayStation 3.
Well,
Been
this is getting
playing.
some use.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it loads the games just like nothing, and it's great. I've been playing a game from Age Tech called Strikers 1945, a fantastic bullet hell shooter.
Yep, I
It's
agree.
a. Are you familiar with that one, Alpha Omega
Yeah,
Sin?
I gotten it much later on. I'm talking like I got it last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I didn't get it back in the day, but I was a big fan. Like my very first top down type shooter was 1942
Mhm.
on NES. So it was really cool to see something like that and be like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
the nostalgia.
And you know what's funny, because it is a CD medium, the music is so much better, and it's a really good time, and it's one of those things for me. I bought it 5 or 6 years ago for in a thrift store for like $2, and it went into a box, and then I broke it out like a year later. I'm like, hey, this is something, and now I broke it out of the box, because all the PlayStation games are kind of packed in this one closet, and I said I'm gonna throw that on, and a great time. Also been playing, because Saint and Magnus was talking about it earlier in the podcast. I've been playing the Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit for the PlayStation 1. Fantastic
Good
game. I
boy.
recommend it highly.
Good
Oh yeah,
boy.
it's a great one. I love the Hot Pursuit feature. At least I did until, they decided they were going to be clever with it. And I also Mrs. Yelkas and myself just last night broke into, never played it myself, seen it played many times, but playing it for myself for the first time, Dino Crisis by Capcom.
Oh,
And
you
it's
bastard.
it's
I've
it's
been playing
essentially
too.
Resident Evil with dinosaurs. I'll give you that, but a great game, and we hope to work on it a little more. So that's what I've been hammering away at.
Dude, you've
And
been playing a lot of good shit.
You
Like
have,
I,
yeah.
like no
I,
fucking kidding. You've been playing a lot of good shit, dude. Fucking bravo.
oh yeah, well
Pat
when
yourself on the back, boy. Pat yourself.
thank you, I
Dude,
appreciate that.
put it this way: this motherfucker's playing, he's playing fucking bullet hell games and RPG and survival horror and mixing all that stuff. That right there, that's fucking awesome. That's niche,
Not,
niche, niche. Look at
not to
that.
mention Excitebots.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of those out there type games that people are like, oh, Excitebots, and I got, dude, did you see the big Excitebots box with the steering wheel inside of it?
I was gonna ask you. I said, does one of those exist? Because I used one that I got in a book off store for like $3. Um, was there one that came with the steering wheel?
Yep, there
Yeah,
was.
that's how I got the steering wheel because I unfortunately for whatever unknown reason still do not own Mario Kart on the Wii,
Ah,
but I was like, man, I actually wouldn't mind having that little rinky-dink steering wheel. That kind of looks cool. And I saw it with Excitebots at a local store, and I'm talking like less than $10, brand new.
wow. See,
And
I
I
have
was
to
like,
get that now.
score, thanks.
Yeah, I got mine used, and I think I got it for like $4, and it was
Yeah,
the
it's
best
dirt
$4
cheap.
I ever spent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're actually
there's
quite comfortable. Very light.
seriously, people, right now is like definitely the time to pick up. Like, if you got a Wii U, go pick up Wii games while you can,
Yeah,
while they're
yeah,
still being sold, 'cause they're dirt cheap.
yeah. Yeah, because well, here's the thing. Before we get to the rest of the circle jerk, I got to tell you, everybody, right now, the Wii is going to be that machine that everyone's going to, in about 5 or 6 years, everyone's going to say, it actually was a pretty good machine. So get
Oh
those
yeah.
games now, because they're going to disappear, and then they're going to be on eBay for whatever dickhead prices eBay has these days.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And if you don't believe us, look at Xenoblade and have a good day.
yeah, have a great time with that. Anyway, we got to get with the rest of this video game circle jerk, and who better the circle jerk it than the MangaMinx? Darling, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing big mixed things. Been playing Mario Kart 7 a lot on the 3DS this week. I've already
Excellent.
played it through quite a bit, but I've been trying to do the 150cc tracks and get more coins and unlock stuff and things like that, and that's been a lot of fun. Been enjoying that. I've been playing a game on the PC, which I'm sure most of you probably haven't heard of, called Thomas Was Alone. It's a puzzle game where
Wait,
you play.
one more time. Thomas was alone.
Yep, Thomas Was
What
Alone.
happened then?
You basically play like a collection of shapes. They're just literally shapes. Like there's like a rectangle, a square, a big square, and then a really long rectangle, and they all have different like properties. Like they all jump different. It's a platformer, and they all jump in different ways. And you solve puzzles using these shapes. But the main sort of point of the game is it's all done with very minimalist graphics, but it is narrated like it's like an epic story. So the narrator will describe all these wonderful things going on, and while on screen it's very simple. and it's all very much down to the narrative. And it's weird that these little blocks actually have more personality than a lot of like AAA game franchise characters. They're given so much life, even though they're literally just a flat object. And it's a really good story, and it's really exciting for what it is. It's like a cheap little indie game, and I absolutely loved it. And something a bit different, and I like things that are a bit different. So
Where can you find it and how much? Sounds interesting.
you can get it on Steam. I think Steam's the main place you can get it. You can probably get it on maybe Gamersgate as well. Let me have a quick. I will double check. You can get it from thomaswasalone.com, of course, too, and you can get it on Desura, which is like Steam but for indie games.
Sounds good.
Price. I got it when it was on sale, but at the moment it is £5.99 on Steam.
Not
So
bad
about
for £6.
yeah, about $10.
Yeah, so go ahead, go out and find it when you find out what Thomas did while he was alone.
Yeah.
He's not alone very much, to be honest with you. That's just the first line of the story, I think.
Oh, well, there you go.
But it's very good. I really recommend it, and yeah, it's a good thing.
All right.
I've also been playing The Showdown Effect, which is a indie 2D deathmatch game. So you play various different characters. You unlock weapons in traditional standard deathmatch style, I guess, these days. But it's all done like from a 2D perspective, and you can only see sort of like in a cone of vision in front of you, so you can sneak up on people and things like that, and it's pretty addictive. I'm not very good at it, but it's pretty addictive, and again, that's pretty cheap as well, so it's worth checking out on Steam if you are into deathmatch type games.
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I played this week.
All right, excellent. That's a pretty good mix right there, I must say. Sainted Magnus.
Yes.
You got to been playing something good, man. I've been playing fucking video games while this podcast goes on. Don't think I don't know. So, what's been going on? What you been spinning, man?
Well, I've been having more of a revisit kind of mood recently. So I've been revisiting some of my older games that I've played, or I've bought the games again and started playing them again. So, starting off on the Xbox 360. Metro 2033. It is basically a post-apocalyptic first-person shooter with survival elements to it, because you have to go and find, post-apocalyptic, basically military-grade ammunition, and that ammunition is your currency in the game. So you go around and you find these high-quality bullets to buy better guns or better ammunition, or like stuff for your gas mask and things like that. So there's loads of little mechanics in the game that add up to making it quite an enjoyable game. One of my personal favourites is when you go to the surface, you have to wear a gas mask because of the nuclear fallout. But as you're walking around in your gas mask, it's not like the one on Metal Gear where it lasts forever. You do have an oxygen gauge and it's slowed down and things like that, but it doesn't last forever. You have to actually change the filter on, and how you do that, you take your mask off, you put your mask back on and things like that. Just going back to the currency, there is, now, I know you're thinking, well, if bullets are your currency, aren't you going to need them to kill things? Well, actually, they have the crap bullets, basically the poor man's bullets, which you find everywhere. But if you run out of those, what you're going to shoot them with? So you switch to the military-grade ammunition, which is a lot more powerful than the ones that you find normally in the weapons. So that it's pretty. You got to do. Be able to think about what you need, weapons you need, and what ammunition you need for each situation.
It's a great game.
It's a great game, and if you play it on the PC, graphically it is unbelievable. It still holds up today, 3 years down the line.
It's a real PC killer, actually. It's known for how gorgeous it looks and how taxing it is on PCs.
Yeah, and if you've got like an Nvidia card in your machine and you're running DX11, it's gonna fucking blow your computer bits. It won't run very well on my machine. It probably run well at medium settings, but I doubt it will go any higher. On the PS1, Chaos mentioned this before, Dino Crisis. I just recently got it in the post, and I was pretty happy to actually get hold of it. So I popped it in, thought, just to see if it still works before I comment on the eBay seller's bloody status, and I ended up playing it for 2 hours. And the top and bottom of it is Resident Evil with dinosaurs. That's the best way to describe it.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Nothing
wrong with that. It's one of the better Dino Crisis games. Dino Crisis 2 is okay. It's more of a run and gun than an actual
Honestly, those
horror
are
game.
2 different games.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis 2 is like an arcade shooting game.
Yeah, and then Dino Crisis 3 doesn't exist.
No.
It just doesn't exist.
Not at all.
We will not discuss this out loud.
We shall not discuss
Dinos
this
in
at
space. There you have it.
That just totally makes sense, just like
Yeah.
zombie Nazis.
Yeah, zombie Nazis.
You
From
just gave,
Wolfenstein, not Call of Duty.
you just gave Ubisoft another idea for where the Assassin's Creed franchise will go in the future.
Ah,
Oh,
shit. See, don't say Assassin's Creed, because then before you know it, PETA's going to come out and get some sort of a press break, and then it's
Yeah.
going to be all just downhill from there.
Yeah. And the last couple of games, I'll go through these quickly. On the PC, I've been playing Euro Truck Simulator 2 again, because it's who wouldn't want to drive a truck at stupid miles an hour down the motorway and crash into a car? And on the Wii, Chaos likes this game. Not a lot of people do. Metroid Other M, and I'm one of the people that actually like it. It's actually a good game. I don't care what people say. It blends the old with the new, and yeah, I know Samus is portrayed as a emo bitch, but it's fun. I don't care. It's fun.
It's a really great game if you've ever seen a movie from the Lifetime Network.
Yeah, so that's my contribution to the Circle Jerk. Now wipe your chins and let's get on with it.
And that's going to have to wrap it up. We thank you for joining us on this week's Hate Bit podcast. That was a fantastic Circle Jerk, unlike one we've ever had before. A lot of good times, a lot of great things there. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming on out and listening to the Hate Bit podcast. We know it's been a little while, so we appreciate each and every one of you. And I just like to send a preemptive fuck you to all you and your pissant comments. All right, say what you're going to say. I know, because you think it gets our girl. We don't give a fuck about you. We are here to do what we do because we are great and you are not. You guys have been not so great. I just thought I'd say that. Anyway, joining me as always, the amazing Alpha Omega Sin.
I'm trying to think of something funny to say. I couldn't think of anything funny to say. All I can say is thank you for tuning in, whether you love us or hate us. But if you do hate us, then, well, we're doing our job.
Yep.
There you go. The venerable MangaMinx.
Sorry, I was just mailing my shit to EA, sorry.
With a nice cravat on it?
With a nice cravat on it.
And don't forget the
fantastic.
chocolate sprinkles. They like the chocolate sprinkles, especially when it's rabbit dung.
There you go. And bringing up the back end, the
That's what she
fantastic
said.
Sainted Magnus. Oh,
Oh.
he shat Batman, you know.
I
He shat
did-
Batman.
I shot on Batman. Hey, don't forget, Batman is from the UK and he's a takeaway driver. So there you go.
Did we actually record that bit?
No, I'm just saying.
Awesome.
If you're in the UK and you read the Metro on the bus, then yes, you're a poor bastard, but two, you know what I'm on about. There we go.
There you go. Thank you very much, and fuck you. We'll see you next week on the Hate Bit podcast. See ya.
Fuck you. See ya.